What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat episode Peaches and Cream. Uh, my name is FooRay,
I am Chamba.
and we're gonna talk about stuff
Who's
like
gonna
this.
talk?
I don't even know how this format is supposed to be introduced because we kind of.
I mean, last episode, which was like pretty fresh still, we did that whole recording of the video and we just kind of talked in the background of it.
Which I liked, and I feel
I
like
did
I want
like
to
it
do.
too.
I want to do, more art things.
There will be. I feel there will be more of that.
I want to do some more art live things as well, like we're doing it on the spot kind of deal.
Yes.
The only problems with those
Yes.
is I feel like we still need a plan going in because it's hard for me to just kind of aimlessly draw.
Right.
So if we're like, this is our theme going in, that's a bit easier. I could handle it.
Yep.
So something like that soon. But you're about to go on a trip, so
Yeah,
that might
in
be a
like
little ways
maybe what is it? It's 4 in the afternoon now, so in about 12 hours I will be boarding.
Woo!
Yeah, for
Supposed to be
like the
week?
flight is how long? I don't know, maybe like 12 hours or something like that.
Okay.
I'll be back. Wait, what day is it today? Wednesday. I'll be back Tuesday, I think it was.
Tuesday.
So I'll be gone about 6 days,
Cool.
give or take. Which, fresh for another episode, I guess.
Word. Random side note.
What's up?
There is a League of Their Own TV series in the works.
What?
Did you like that movie?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I think there's a lot of cool things.
I love that movie, dude.
Do you? When's the last time you watched it, though?
Probably like a year ago, maybe.
Oh, okay, good
Maybe
job. That means you
2
actually
years.
legitimately like it then.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I grew up watching that movie. Hella, I know a bunch of the stuff out of that thing
I'll
because I
need
watched
to
it as a
I'll
child.
need to give it another shot. As in, I haven't
It's
seen
good,
it in a
man.
long time. That's probably why it's still like it's not as fresh in my head as
Best
it is
movie
to you.
that Madonna ever participated in.
She's in that movie. See that? There you go. I didn't even realize. It
One of
didn't
my
even cross
favorite
my mind.
movies that
Didn't cross
Rosie
my mind.
O'Donnell participated in.
All right, I'm gonna have to take a quick break. This is annoying. This is annoying. I'm
What
gonna
is
take a
happening?
quick break. I'm just gonna take a quick break. All right. So
Okay.
the ad goes here. I don't care.
All right.
All right. And we're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
So anyway, a League of Their Own series.
Yeah. Who's doing it?
Amazon is doing it.
Okay. Series.
Yeah.
Limited series?
So, I think on similar to how like Glow works, but it'll be a baseball team.
Okay.
In the 40s or whenever this was. I think it was the 40s.
Okay. I'm going to rewind a little bit because my mind did a brain fart. You said A League of Their Own. In my head, it was A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Neat. Yeah, I super
No.
don't like that movie.
That's why when you kept saying that in my head, I was like, what?
Yeah, A League of Their Own, the baseball thing.
Okay. That's good. Who's going to be in this, though?
I don't know. It's because it's a TV series or whatever. I have no idea. But it's being described as a modern take on the movie. So,
I don't know if that's good.
but they're saying that it's still supposed to be set in the same time in the
Oh, okay.
40s or whatever.
By modern take, what do they mean then? As in, like, it's being filmed now, which is obvious.
Well, right, but I'm guessing it'll be sort of like Glow, like they'll kind of have
Okay.
potty mouths and be like high energy and stuff.
Actually, I think that would be good then.
I think it could be really
I think
cool.
it would be great.
I'm quite interested because I really love that movie.
Now that you say that, it's been a while since I've seen that film, but I do like that film.
Yeah. Okay. Glad we're on the same page
Cool.
now.
That was my brain fart.
Yeah, yeah, Madonna definitely not in
That's what I
League
was
of
like.
Extraordinary
When you said
Gentlemen.
that, I was like, where was
It,
she in that film?
so I got to Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. Did
I
you
didn't hear
still
Rosie
like?
O'Donnell. I only heard Madonna.
In any case,
Yeah,
yeah, that's happening.
that's cool.
I'm interested in seeing that. I
That
don't know
could
when
be
it's supposed
good.
to come out. But
Honestly, it's weird because I'm like, I'd probably be more interested in checking that out than a lot of these comic book related shows,
true.
which is
I mean,
weird.
I still haven't watched any of The Tick since they made it a full thing.
Oh, I have. I've seen half the season
Why'd you stop?
because I watched it when I was at California
Mm,
and crashing at Long's place, and Long had Amazon Prime, and it was like hooked up to the television.
gotcha.
So I just marathoned that, and I liked it a lot. But I'm like, oh, I gotta wait.
I gotta wait.
Yeah,
But
but
anyway,
that was actually good. He's great. That show's good. So,
yeah, yeah,
and that's an Amazon show. So I think yeah, no. But like
yeah.
yeah,
This one is
what?
too.
There's a bunch of other comic book shows that I like. Shield, maybe I might want to pick back up. I don't know.
I've watched. I caught up to the 100th episode or whatever, but I
Was it
haven't
good?
seen past that yet. I liked it. It was some pretty. It was kind of one of those. It seems like every TV show when they get to their 100th episode, there's kind of like a "It's a Wonderful Life" kind of scenario where they
No,
have to kind of revisit
a bunch of
elements
stuff.
of
Yeah, yeah.
things that have happened before. So there's like one sequence in particular where you're like, oh, it's the I think I was telling you before they had like the Blanca guy showed up again
Mm-hmm. So
and
were they like scenes that
split
were
mouth guy.
reshot? Did they film new scenes?
No, I think they brought those
Oh,
guys
that's cool.
back um, for that.
That's cool.
But but I yeah again I haven't seen anything past that. Although spoilers,
Oh, spoiler.
I saw one of the characters with robot arms.
Oh, Jack style.
Basically,
Both
basically,
arms. Not Winter
yep.
Soldier.
No, both arms.
Did they
So
look cool?
they didn't look bad. They didn't look bad, but
Cool.
that means somebody loses their arms.
That does. Which character was it? Spoiler.
I don't want to say because it's a spoiler.
Oh
I'll tell you
no. All right, cool,
for,
cool, cool.
for the people who've not seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
But yeah.
aren't there like new superhero shows coming out? Like Cloak and Dagger's coming out soon. I don't know how whether or
Cloak
not
and Dagger
Runaways is
is
still
coming out.
going. Um,
Which one?
Runaways is that still going?
They finished the first season. They haven't done
Okay,
the
but
second
I'm
season.
assuming they're gonna do second season. Right?
Yeah,
Legion's coming back soon.
yeah. Seen
Um,
advertisements for that.
what else is there? I mean, Gotham's still doing their thing.
Which surprises me all the time. I'm really surprised that show has lasted as long as it has.
They show like that Jerome character, which is essentially just Joker.
Like Gotham's version of the
Yeah, and I'm
Joker.
looking, I'm like, he's a good Joker, but I don't care. Like he looks cool, like he looks the part in those little clips that I see in those clips and images, and I'm like, that's a cool looking Joker. That looks more like Joker than bloody Suicide Squad Joker.
Right.
Like way more like Joker. But I just, all right, man. I'm cool. People like it. Cool. I'm glad people do.
Do they?
I don't
I
know,
literally
man.
don't know. I have no idea how popular
I
that
know.
show is.
I'm sure people still do if like the show's still going.
Right.
There's got to be
Uh,
people watching that stuff.
yeah, gotta be. I mean, I wonder if it's kind of a similar crowd to the people who watch all the CW stuff, or
Like
I
all
don't
those are
know.
still going, right?
I mean, as far as I know, none of these shows have gotten canceled yet,
It's
other
on a
than
break right now.
Constantine and
Oh well, I did read that the Constantine is going to be in that
he's in
show.
Legends
Yeah,
now.
he's going to be as a main cast now next season. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
He was on it featuring
right, right.
last season, so
But now he's going to be part of the main thing, and I'm like, good on him.
also Kid Flash is part of the main cast on there now too.
Was he ever part of that show? Oh yeah, he was in Flash.
Yeah.
That's right. See, I don't know, man. Good on them all. I don't know. Good job. I mean, good job.
Well, there's just a lot of stuff to watch,
There
man.
is, and a lot of it, I'm not even gonna bother anymore, man.
Well, it sounds so depressing the way you say it. I think
It's
it's
not
okay
though.
just to not watch
Oh,
things without
absolutely.
it being like fucking that.
Oh, I'm not even saying like fuck those things. I'm just saying like I'm glad people enjoy it. I got things going that I'm enjoying too, so it's all good.
To be fair, I don't think that all the shows you're choosing to watch are better.
Oh no, I'm not saying that either though. But the
Like,
thing is,
what's that Drew Barrymore shit you said you're watching where she's a zombie or
I
whatever?
marathon that in like 2 nights, like the first
That
season though.
show.
Yeah,
Ugh,
but have I started the second season? No, it's been
I have no
on.
idea. I
Not
have
at
no idea,
all.
but you could
Not
caught up on
at all.
Shield in that time, and it would have been
The
just as
difference
good, if not
being is
better.
Shield isn't on Netflix.
Is it not? It's
No,
on
not here.
Netflix here.
Well, that's the difference. If it was here,
I
I would
don't know.
probably watched it already.
Well, I don't know. I wish I could binge stuff on Netflix easier because I really don't take advantage of
The
all the
whole
TV
Netflix
shows that are
aspect, yeah.
available.
Why
I
is that? I
just
mean, like, what do you have going, like, playing in the background when you're actually getting artwork and stuff done?
I subscribe to enough shit on YouTube to
YouTube
where
to, yeah. Okay.
I have a new giant load of content every day, basically.
Question: when you load up YouTube in the morning, say, or when
Mm-hmm.
when you wake up, do you
Yeah.
actually clear all that's new on that day, or does stuff still stack up for the next day and does it get
Well, you
passed
don't
on?
actually clear it. You just like scroll through and watch the shit you want
Oh
to
no, but
watch.
like what I mean by clear, as in like you watch the things that you want that was uploaded that day,
I try to for the most part.
or do you
I
have
watch
things
a
where you
lot of
miss
it.
out on and then you have to pass it on to the next day and then watch it
No, a
again?
lot of the stuff that I miss out on is the stuff that I'm not subscribed to, where I just like happen to see a video that looks
Okay,
interesting, so
yeah.
I'll like save it as a tab and it sits there for a million years because I just watch the shit I subscribe to for the
You
most
gotta,
part.
you gotta, you gotta fix this tab issue, bro.
I'm a tab hoarder, man. It's
Yeah.
better than a real hoarder,
Oh, for
so
sure. If it was a
you know,
physical aspect, your rooms
yeah.
would be just
So I
terrible.
accept it. It's a flaw, but
Yeah, no, I'm there. I mean, I'm looking right now. I've got like 9 tabs maybe open.
I've got hella, and I closed a whole window full of them the other day
But you were saying
before we
before,
started
like your
recording.
tabs. We were saying, yeah, where it like saves your tabs. We should do an
Oh yeah,
episode where you just click on the same tabs and just briefly talk about what each tab is.
at some point we'll have to do it. There's
Yeah.
literally so much content there. We could do a whole podcast, a separate podcast just on that.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure.
just called Chipper Chap tabs.
Let me just, for the sake of science, look real quick how far back this goes. I've got sessions from June 7th, 2012.
That's terrible.
I've got
2012. That's 6 years old.
Yeah, I'm saying I because I don't delete these sessions. I've just got a long ongoing collection.
Dude, that's terrible.
I mean, these aren't tabs I currently have open. This
I
is just
get
a
it,
saved
but the fact that that was a day of tabs
just the
six
one
years
from
ago.
June 7th, 2012 is 39 tabs.
Oh, what you do? Grab a grab a
Let me look
browser.
quick and just see which day had the most
I'm
tabs.
curious. Nah, there's no way. I think your browser would crash before that happens. If it's like
August 1st, 2013 had 41.
open a week's worth of tabs in one window.
No, that would freeze my
I
computer up.
was gonna say it would just, and you're just gonna keep it there. You're not even gonna look inside, are you?
There's 58 tabs once in
I don't know
2014.
why you do this.
66 tabs one time.
I don't
That's the
get it.
highest so far, 66.
I don't get it.
I mean, they're not all this big. There's a bunch where it's just like 11 or something, but
Okay, that's cool. But the fact that does it record every day?
okay. So 66, no, just when I remember to save it.
Okay, but even then, it's like it's
Basically, every time I've been like, wow, I've got too many tabs open. I'm just gonna close these whole windows. I'll save it first, and then it's hella tabs. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
Well, you can just not. You can just close it. How about you delete some of those?
I don't. I just don't see how my tabs are affecting your life.
It's not. It's just bizarre. It's just
I think
it's
it's
just
fine.
collecting.
What if we were all just collectively fine with it?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. What else we got going on?
That's. I mean, the main thing we are going to talk about this episode was we both saw Ready Player
Ready
One.
Player
That's
One.
pretty much the what this episode's going to be about. The news at the start was just
What's
stuff that you
this guy's
found.
name? What is this guy's name?
Um,
Also, what is he from? Why is he familiar to
I
me?
don't know. He looks familiar. I don't know who he is. Why?
He's Irish. I know
Okay.
that much information. He's this. He's got a superhero face.
Who would he be? Who would he be good as?
That could be like a Wolverine face.
He
You,
might be
you
tall
know,
though.
I don't know. Can't remember who this guy's name is to look him up and find out.
Doesn't have a name attached to it.
No. Mm-mm. You remember that one time that Kristen Wiig is randomly a villain in a movie?
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah. Do you know? You
We
remember?
didn't talk about that, did we?
I think we did talk about the cheetah thing, but they
Did
added
we?
somebody else too. Somebody
Did
else
they?
is a villain in it now.
In that movie?
Yeah, and Wonder Woman too. Somebody else just joined the cast randomly.
Go check it out. Let's see what this is about. DC, I
Um,
don't know what you're doing, bro.
oh yeah, the Pedro Pascal, the dude, the Viper dude from Game of Thrones, the one that got watermeloned.
Hmm. Who is he?
I don't know. This says he also
Okay.
joined the cast as a
Cool.
villain.
Cool. He plays a good villain. I mean, he was. He's a good. He's a good.
I didn't see him in Kingsman because I haven't seen Kingsman 2
Ah, you
yet.
need to watch that. You guys like need to rent that and just watch it as you guys there.
Yeah, I think they have it on Blu-ray or something,
Yeah,
so
perfect. Give it a give it a watch. It's a good one.
we'll get to it.
It's a good one.
Um,
But yeah, Ready Player
I like
One.
that guy. I like that guy. Did you see Mark Strong is in that Shazam?
Yeah, who is he?
He's the villain, but I have no idea who he's playing.
See, okay, that's
You
another
know what
one
would be
that DC
clowning though? You
reused.
know what would be clowning is
Whoa.
if he was still Sinestro somehow,
Yeah, blah
but he's
blah.
bald
Right.
in the set photos I saw. So
Hey, you can still be bald. Have a bald Sinestro. Why not?
because they already showed what he looked like. He
Yeah,
don't look
but
like
they don't
Sinestro.
care. Just
He
change it
looks
up
more like
anyways.
he looks like comic book Vulture.
He looks like he would have been a good Lex Luthor.
He would have been, but then we got Facebook version.
How about if he was Professor X, the new Professor X? Did you see him as Professor X?
Kind of, but he's also got like one of them punch me faces.
He was great in a Kingsman, man.
He was fantastic in Kingsman, but it's just not the
How
same
about if
like
he was Doctor Doom?
perfect. I would be fine with it.
Hmm.
But again, he's a villain in Shazam,
Yeah.
so that one's not happening.
Yeah.
But he's another guy that I feel like he could play a lot of stuff
He
if
can,
given
man.
the
He's very
opportunity.
versatile in that aspect, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What was the dude from The Office that wants to do crap?
All right, John Krasinski.
That's the one. You said he wants to play Reed
Yeah,
Richards.
he said in a recent tweet saying he'd be interested if they did it, and they were like, people were saying, oh, they should get his wife to be Sue Storm,
Who's his wife?
Emily Blunt.
Oh, lucky guy, man, because
I
he looks
know.
dumb as shit.
Uh,
Um,
I was like, I'd be good with her
but
with Sue.
I don't want her to sue either.
Because people are like, oh, you get her as Sue, get Zac Efron as Johnny Storm.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm like, what are they doing? Did they want to ruin Fantastic Four?
That's a weird set of people, man. Emily Blunt again was such a waste because she was literally cast as Black Widow,
Yep.
and she had to pull out of it.
That sucks, man. She would have been Black Widow.
And I would have liked it so much better.
Yeah,
I would have liked it so much better.
I would have preferred like, yeah, like especially like seeing what she did with uh
Day After Tomorrow, or whatever it's called. Live, Die, Repeat,
Live Die Repeat,
whatever it ended up being
whatever it,
called.
yeah, whatever the name of
Edge
that
of Tomorrow.
Edge
Edge
of
of
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. Seeing her in that, I'm like, she would have been badass.
Yep. Yep.
Like
Yep.
hardcore badass. And now she's Mary Poppins.
Which again
Is a miscut. I should
should
have,
have
yeah.
been Haley
Haley
Atwell,
Atwell,
dude.
bro. Dude, I'm going. Yeah, I went through the Marvel films again. I'm going through
Yeah.
them still, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start. What is it? Winter Soldier tonight.
Mm.
So I'm up to that point. But like seeing Cap 1, like
Yeah.
Haley Atwell's bloody awesome, man.
Yeah.
She's so good. She would have been so good as Mary Poppins because she can sing too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's weird.
She's just got the more Mary Poppins look to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh well,
Did you hear about all the stuff going on with Deadpool series?
yeah, it's canceled. Because
But he also put like a fake script online.
was it fake or was it real?
It was fake. I mean, he wrote it, so it's real, but it wasn't from any of the episodes. The jokes were too current.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, people are like reading the script and they go, it's kind of like if that's an example of the script, that's fine.
yeah, I heard like a fan reading of it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not a great script,
I didn't think it was bad. It's
but
just
it's fine.
it's hard just to go off of the
Did you
script.
see the cinematic that's been released?
I did, which it was like using Ryan Reynolds's
Yeah.
already
That's why I was
used
confused. I'm
dialogue or
like,
something.
whoa, it's like it's done by Titmouse. It's not finished. It wasn't a finished cinematic, so
Yeah,
some of it's
I sent it to you.
yeah. But I'm like,
But yeah. It looked decent to me.
Yeah.
It's again, it's hard to tell because don't know who was even going to voice him in the show. Uh, I can't really see how. Like, I'd be curious to see how that version of what the animation looked like would have worked with like how the show was written based on the little bit of script.
Would it have been like rated like an adult swim style cartoon where it isn't for kids at all?
Yeah, it wasn't for kids. It was supposed to be on the same network and stuff as Archer. So
Do those shows do well? Do like shows directed towards
Archer's been on for a gajillion billion, so I feel like it does
guess.
well enough.
I don't know if I want. I don't know if I care for a Deadpool cartoon right now.
Well, you know.
Sure, people would have loved it though, for sure.
sure.
For sure. I think the movies are enough for me at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even perfectly confident I'm gonna like the second one.
I'm not either, but I want to hope that it's gonna be decent.
I'm sure that it will be enjoyable, but I'm bummed about the director change.
Oh yeah, it's a major.
So it's not a point in positivity, and for a long time I've not been quiet about it. I super don't like TJ Miller.
Not a fan.
And so every time he's in a thing, it bums me out, which we'll get to again later.
More TJ.
But just
okay, yep.
Just his voice bothers me, and his face bothers me. He just looks like a sleazeball. Like he just seems like in real life he is like a garbage person.
I don't like thinking about that kind of thing in terms of like, oh, you're judging people based on what how they depicted in media and stuff. But it's like that's all we see, so it's kind of
just any interview I've seen of him,
slimy.
Yeah, he just seems like a greasy, gross dude, and so he bothers me. And I remember we talked about it hell a long time ago, Big Hero 6. As I was so excited for that movie, but I was like, oh, why did they have to put TJ Miller in this?
He didn't ruin that film, thankfully.
He didn't ruin it, but you don't understand. I really don't like that guy. And so I was bummed that he was in Deadpool, bummed that he's still in Deadpool 2. Even now, like, he was one of the people that was taking shots when all the people were getting hit on Hollywood for sexual misconduct and crap. Even
Yeah.
then, we're like, yeah, keep putting him in all the things. It's fine.
That's why it's weird. I was like, I thought he was getting like in trouble for stuff like that.
Right. I mean, to be fair, they didn't advertise at all that he was in Ready Player One.
Yeah, no. That's why when I heard his voice, I was like, oh, that's odd.
Yeah.
I mean, his voice suited that character because he was a complete, just like a waste.
Yeah.
The guy was a waste. In terms of by a waste, I mean like he's got no friend. Like he's that kind of person. You only need him because he's useful, but other than that, you want to remove him from your.
He's a grown-up Cartman, for sure. But
Nice, funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so that guy bums me out. But the new Deadpool does look like it could be fun. I do like that kid from Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yes.
I like everything I've seen from Zazie Beetz so far.
They haven't shown much of it though.
I haven't shown much, but I do like what I see.
Dude, turn a little
like
bit more. You're kind of going off screen. There we go. Stay there.
I like her. I like her look. The vitiligo eyeball thing is odd, but who cares? The Terry Crews stuff and all the rest of the X-Force guys, there's just not enough.
There isn't enough for us to go by. And I'm not even sure when the release date is for this, right? Is it May? Is it June?
No, it's this month, dude.
What? April?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No. I know, I think we might have talked about this in the previous episode, but...
Now I don't remember. I thought
it was May.
It got pushed forward to be the same month maybe it's May, because I thought it was the same month as Avengers.
Maybe, originally it might, because Avengers was May, but then they pushed it end of April.
Right.
Dude, that the film's out in like 3 weeks.
I know.
3 weeks, man.
Pretty excited, man.
It's gonna be sick. It's after It's after Supernova here.
YouTube keeps trying to show me more and more like clips and crap. I'm like, stop it. I don't want to see any more.
I know
things.
Instagram shows a bunch of shit.
Yeah, Instagram, you gotta stop it too.
Yeah, I'm like, stop this. I go to Discovery to find new artworks and stuff. That'd be showing me like comparison to TV spots and shit.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more.
No, I'm already watching it. I'm probably gonna like. I should probably maybe buy my second screening tickets or something.
Yeah, like usually for these movies, I'm not too bothered by spoilers.
No.
So I watch like behind the scenes footage and as much like interviews about them as I can, even before the movie's out. I just want to see it. Like they do the B-roll footage things of movies and stuff.
After I watch it once, I'm open to all that shit.
Yeah, which is fine.
But for this floodgates,
I don't want to see none of the B-roll footage.
Oh yeah, see, that's saying something. That's saying something about this film, especially for you, because I know
it's a rare thing. It's a rare thing. But you remember how excited I get about these things. Remember Avengers 2 came out, and there was like a rip of it, and it was crap quality. But
and you were
fighting myself,
dude. It was so weird seeing you as well, because you're just like.
Because it wasn't out here for like another 3 days or something.
And you were like,
I can watch it now.
I know, and it's like, and you showed me, I think, a little clip, and I was like, I can't tell what the fuck's going on. And you were like, but I can, I'll make out enough of it. It'll satisfy me until I see it clear on the big screen.
You're like, you don't want to do it, man. You want to see those effects, and I'm like, I know, but it's right now. I don't have to go anywhere. But anyhow. I'm really excited for that.
3 weeks, dude.
There's so many characters, so many random things. Like as much as I don't expect it to happen. I want some symbiote something, please.
See, I don't want to.
Even if it's literally just a little tiny splish splash.
Yeah, like a black blob goes on it, and he's just like, ugh.
It doesn't have to be anything big. He doesn't have to get the black suit. No. I'm fine with it, man. Just a little something so that when this Venom movie comes out, that it doesn't feel completely unconnected,
Also, like, I think information on the Venom film, they say he's barely going to be Venom in it.
I don't believe that though.
I'd like
I
to
did
not.
hear that rumor as well. They said like he's only going to show up for like the last act of the movie. I really don't think that's
I
the
don't.
case.
It shouldn't be.
I don't think that Sony is dumb enough to make that move.
Hmm.
And as much as it's like, ooh, we got Tom Hardy, so we should show Tom Hardy a lot. I think Tom Hardy is not dumb enough to make that move.
I think Tom
Um,
Hardy kind of, you know, it feels like he gives a shit about what he's doing.
right. You know,
Like check out Bane. He didn't have a scene where he's like, oh, you know what? We need a couple scenes where I'm going to remove the mask so you can see my face.
right, exactly. And you know, he was, whether you liked what he did with Bane or not, he was committed to
Oh,
making
that's what I mean.
an original new character. You know.
So I want that level of commitment to this Venom role, and I think there's gonna be. I think it's gonna be that.
Yeah, and to be fair to him, I do think he made a character that is as unique and long lasting potentially as Heath Ledger's Joker was. Like,
Hmm.
you know, you can do an impression of Bane and you know exactly what
Oh,
that
for
is.
sure. It's his character stood out to the like. I don't know if they plan on at this rate with the DC films. I don't know if they'll plan on touch any other characters anymore. But a Bane will be compared to this Bane if they redo Bane.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you know, that part will be tough. I mean, granted for Tom Hardy, like the only other Bane that existed was the super dumb one
That's what I
from
mean.
the old movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bray! Like he always says his own name. Um,
He wasn't even tall. He was just kind of big.
yeah, it was like Vader or
Yeah.
something. Um,
Which is
yeah.
terrifying.
Uh, Fantastic Four though.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah.
casting
Before we
that.
recorded, we were talking about who we could see.
Who would you want to play the Thing?
Thing was tricky. Like, I don't know if you want to go for a serious actor or I don't know, like he has to it's tricky because they all kind of have to I think that who you cast relies on each other in a sense. You know, it kind of
Mm,
determines who's going to be playing who. Like if you go, all right, you say you would love to see Charlize Theron as if they're going for the older versions
right.
of the characters, you'd love
Mm,
to see Charlize Theron as Sue Storm. So
yeah.
who would counter who would work well with these with her. So who would be a
Hmm.
good Reed for her? Who would be a good Johnny? Who would be a good, you know, Grim?
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
I feel like you know you were saying something about people wanting to cast Zach Efron as Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Storm, and it's not necessarily that I don't think that he could play that, but I think that he as Zach Efron is too distractingly Zach Efron to where it will pull people out of the experience.
Yeah,
He's too well known already as
yeah.
the High
He's
School
Zac. Yeah,
Musical kid and
he's Zac
everything, you know.
Efron.
Um, but I don't think that you know he's necessarily a terrible choice. He's
No.
just so specific looking that it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'd rather they cast an unknown.
yeah,
By unknown, I
and
mean like even if they're a face that's appeared in Hollywood films already, just
hmm,
not ones that would be like that kind of has that kind of name attached to them, if that makes sense.
right.
You know, um, I think Charlize would be great. I love her; she's great.
Um,
Uh, Casting
the
around that is tricky.
we were talking about Reed. I
Yeah,
still think Andrew Lincoln would be a pretty
you say
spot
Andrew
on
Lincoln
choice.
would be cool.
Yeah,
I reckon Patrick Wilson eventually should just be part of the universe somehow. I don't care
but
what.
I'm saying if you look at those two next to each other,
Mm,
specifically Andrew Lincoln, Patrick Wilson, if he's Doom, I think that
Patrick
would
Wilson
be
would be
a
a great dude.
I
Or
think that would be a nice
yeah,
pairing.
yeah. That seems stronger than say if you reverse those roles.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, I don't think I'd like to see Andrew Lincoln as a Doom
No,
character.
he'd be like when you clean him up because you're
Hmm.
so used to seeing Rick Grimes as like just grimy, dirty.
Right.
But when you clean him up, he could You could easily see him as Reed Richards.
Yeah, think of him in like the Love Actually days,
Just older.
but just older
Yeah,
now, which I
distinguished, more
think works
distinguished.
with Charlize.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and just like silver the hair up.
Hmm.
Done. Who would be a great Ben Grimm with that though?
I didn't like the like thin dude Ben Grimm thing they
He
tried
needs
to
to
do
be.
with the reboot.
I don't care if he's tall. It doesn't have to be tall. Just stock, like
Yeah, I think he should
built.
be a
He
stockier
needs to be
dude.
built a little more solidly.
Yeah,
That's
um,
tricky.
it is.
Like especially when you're just trying to come up with it now.
And I feel like they have to have a good voice because so much of it is going to be that after. And I feel like that was a big problem for me with the reboot thing.
Chickless
Is
was
that
great. Michael Chiklis, the original one.
yes, because that one they were going for the old school like I'm a New Yorker
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
he was
Ben
great.
Grimm,
Hmm.
which I think worked. It was very comic booky accurate.
Also,
I mean,
Ian Grufford was I liked him as Mr. Fantastic.
I thought he was okay. I thought he
I
was
think he
okay,
looked the part.
sort of to me, because you know who I always imagined as Reed Richards
Who?
was Dick Van Dyke. So I feel like in that way, that dude kind of fit
Yeah,
the
because
bill.
it's like who would be a good modern Dick Van Dyke?
Because I'm like, because to me, when I imagine the Fantastic Four, I imagine like the old school 50s, 60s style.
That's
And to
why.
me, Dick Van Dyke was like perfect Reed Richards.
Oh
He is
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of lanky. He's very like physical. So I could imagine them doing cool stuff with him. And, she wasn't blonde, but I imagine Sue Storm in that kind of
Mm-hmm.
silhouette. So, it's tough. It's tough to undo that in my mind. But I think that dude played him okay. I didn't like how they did his hair. I know they tried to do
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
comic book accurate, but I just feel like it didn't look right on him. I think he was too young looking to have the streaks.
He did. He was like I think he probably looks the part more now,
Right, right, right.
but
And so it just didn't kind of work for me. And the effects were
yeah.
terrible,
Well,
so it was hard.
I mean,
And
there you go.
he had no like visual to
No,
me chemistry with Alba.
not at all. That's why it's awful.
Yeah, so I was like,
Yeah.
this just
Hmm.
didn't it all do it? Like the one saving grace, other than Chickless once he was in thing form,
Yep.
was Evans. I thought he played a
Evans
fun, good,
was like his. He
funny story.
was like he didn't have the blonde hair.
He did, but I feel like he kind of shoulda.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad he didn't because then it would have felt really hard to separate him from Cap.
Yeah.
Because like once he played Cap, he actually did the blonde hair, and it was easy to be like, "Oh, that's not how they
But
showed Johnny
it's
Storm."
it's amazing how different those two characters
Oh yeah, fully,
are,
fully.
and he sold them both.
Yeah, yeah. Because to me, he seems a lot more like the character he was playing in Fantastic Four in real life.
Whereas like a
But
toned
he
down
plays
version,
Cap so well that
yeah,
I'm like,
I believe
that's
that
who I
too.
hope he aspires to be in
Right,
real life.
exactly. Like maybe as he gets older, he probably
Right,
becomes
right.
more like
Oh, like
that.
grow into it. Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yeah, it's
Um,
it's hard casting Ben Grimm.
it is because it is to me very specifically kind of a voice thing too. So whoever it is, I hope they're tall and I hope they can do a New Yorker accent.
Does it have to be New Yorker? Do you feel?
I kind of just feel like it's a part of that dude's character in my mind. When I think of like the big blue-eyed construction worker Ben Grimm,
Mm.
he's that guy to me. Um,
For a
I'm not
second,
not to say that he can do anything else, but
right?
that's how I imagine the comic book
For a
version.
second, when we're thinking of Ben Grimm's, I was like, see, if he wasn't already in Thor Ragnarok, I would have said like Carl Urban.
I thought about Carl Urban earlier, but I was thinking of people who could play Reed.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I was thinking that too. But then when you started saying he needs to be a little lankier, and I was like, oh,
right, he doesn't have the slender face I
no,
imagine, but I
no,
imagine him more as a Reed than as a Ben.
as a Ben, because
Yeah.
he's great.
He is good. I like Carl Urban.
He's great.
Like I super duper didn't think I was gonna like him as Dredd, but I actually really like
Oh,
him.
he was bloody. So I believed every bit of that.
Um,
And then people were like, oh, he had his chin wasn't strong enough.
do you remember what is the name of that movie? Lockdown?
Yeah.
It had like Guy Pearce in space.
Yeah. I like that movie a lot, actually.
The guy who's the villain in that movie,
Oh, I don't
the
recall the
like
villain.
the crazy dude, he's got like one wonky eye. He's in the Preacher series as a vampire. He was in Misfits.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That guy, I want him in the MCU somewhere.
As who?
I don't know, but somebody, because I love that dude.
Oh,
I think
he's
he's a
great.
great
He's
actor.
great. But
He,
who
he
would he
was one
be?
of my he was one of my like fan choices when they were still casting the Joker. I hella was
Oh,
like,
dude.
fuck yeah.
See, that Joker, I
Mhm.
believe.
Oh yeah, he's great at playing a
He would
psycho,
have
dude.
like that's a like especially if you see him in lockdown. You
Hmm.
believe his character completely. Like he's off his rocker.
Hmm.
Oh, that's kind of it.
Visually,
Visually.
how do you feel about, not as anybody in particular, but just as the guy? How do you feel about Aaron Eckhart?
Two-Face, right?
Yeah, but
I liked him.
that's old continuity
Yeah,
now.
of course, of course. I enjoy. He was solid in what was that? Battlefield LA or some shit like that.
I didn't even see that one. That's the alien
Yeah, that
invasion
one
one.
wasn't. It wasn't terrible. It's not. Yeah, put it this way, um, it's a movie, but like it's not offensive in any way. They kind of
Right,
treat things seriously. Like they're not. They understand what the point of the film is, but they're also not hamming things up. Like to
right.
them, it's just like okay, these guys who are playing these characters were literally just thrown into this situation and then just kind of going with it.
Two actors. Curious what you would do with them if you're throwing them into the MCU somewhere.
Mm.
What would you do with Jason Bateman?
Oh, weird. Weird.
You don't like Jason Bateman?
I like him. I think he's great. But what would you do with him?
I feel like I would. He's somebody I'd want to see there, but
As
it's
who?
hard to
Yeah, it's
say.
hard to see as who. That's the problem. I want to see him
I
fit in
could
some way.
I could see him in the Ant-Man
That's what I
universe.
was thinking. That's the whole point. But I'm like, who in
In
Ant
fact,
Man could he be?
as much as I definitely don't wish that it was switched, I think he could have been a Scott Lang
Oh
Ant
yeah,
Man.
I could see him as Scott Lang. But I'm like, I love Paul Rudd as Scott Lang.
Yeah, for sure. I love Paul Rudd
Yeah,
in anything.
Jason Bateman should be
Uh,
there. I don't know as who, but find a role for him.
and also, what would you do with an MCU role for James Marsden?
Dude, honestly, that guy needs better stuff.
He does. He's great.
He really does. He's got a his face is a hero face.
Yep. Perfect hero face, which is why he was an incredible choice for the Prince Charming and Enchanted.
Perfect.
'Cause he's got perfect.
He's a bit on the shorter side,
He is, but camera
but
tricks.
also yeah, that's what I was like. But that technically doesn't affect anything.
All right, right.
Like look at Robert Downey Jr.
But what would you do with him?
Oh, that's the tricky part, man. That's the tricky part. Like what heroes are available?
You can't
Could
you
he
can't
be
put him
Reed?
any you can't put him anywhere near X-Men.
Could he be Reed?
He's got a pretty for Reed.
He's that's the problem, right? He's too pretty for Reed.
Yeah, I
But
think he's kind of
if his
pretty
lady's supposed to be Sue,
right. If he's with Charlize,
mm-hmm.
which I get,
I'll buy it.
but I feel like he's still too pretty for Reed.
Why? Because he's gonna be one of the most handsome guys there.
Kind of like he shouldn't be prettier than Cap or pretty like in
Right,
the
I
real.
suppose. Like, okay, cool. He's the smartest guy here, and he's bloody. He looks like that. That's not even cool.
Although he is one that I would have been interested to see what they could have done with Cap or Bucky.
Yeah, he's on the
Um,
older side too.
yeah, but
That's why I'm
not
like,
so much older that he doesn't work.
no, of course not. Still, man, he could be a possible Reed.
Too pretty, man. Too pretty.
There's a lot of good actors. Like, throw him in somewhere. That's the problem. Like, who is left?
Oh, hella people.
Yeah, but like,
There's hella people. What would you do with? I just have his face here. What would you do with Christoph Waltz in the MCU? Do you think he could be a replacement
Red Skull.
Red Skull?
I'll take it. I will take that.
Do you think he's as imposing as
No.
I'd still be curious to see what he would do with the
I don't know if
character
he'll be
more.
as imposing, but I can still like he'd be more. It'd be. It'd be like it'd feel like more sly, like he'd be a sly
Right,
character, you know.
right.
But
More weak.
yeah, but nah. Who we got as Red Skull was great. It's a
Here's
shame they're
a,
not doing anything with Red Skull anymore though.
you know who also would have been great if we could have used him, poor guy, is I'd really be curious to see how Paul Walker's career would have progressed.
Dude, for real.
Because I've easily could have seen him been
Oh,
thrown at some of
easily.
these superhero movies.
Easily. So far, they haven't replaced him, as in, like, in terms of what roles he would have done.
All right, there's nobody.
And I
There's
know
nobody
people only
doing Paul
remember him
Walker.
from bloody the Fast and Furious films.
For me, he's got one definitive film, man.
Mm.
Running Scared
That
is
film is awesome,
that's the
dude.
best Paul Walker
Yep.
movie by a
Mm-hmm.
long.
He actually showed what he's capable of there.
So here's some guys that have kind of stayed away. So I'm curious what we would do with them.
Okay. All
Where
right, question.
what universe you think they would fit?
Any of these guys would they fit in as Reed Richards?
One of them
Okay. Okay.
I think could, but he's still sorta on the pretty side.
Okay. So the problem with Reed Richards, okay, he shouldn't be too bulky.
Right.
He can't be on the prettier side. He has to
Because
look more.
you have to believe this guy as a nerd,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's tough sometimes when they're super pretty or super specific. Like I'm never gonna buy Mark Wahlberg as a genius inventor as much as
As much
Michael
as
Bay wanted
Transformers
us
wants
to.
us to believe that he is, right?
Yeah.
He's an action inventor, Royce. Did you not get that?
Right, right. So what would you do with which franchise in the MCU do you think would be the best fit for Ryan Gosling?
Could he be Reed, or is he too pretty?
I think next to Charlize he'll look too young.
That's the thing too. And I know age-wise they might not even be super far off.
But he's
He
got a
has a
very
yeah,
boyish
he has a boyish
face.
he has a boyish face.
Um
Who would you do for that? What character could he?
I've never been a fan of his,
Mm.
but the movie that sold me on him a bit was
Blade
what's it
Runner?
called? Nice Guys.
Oh, Nice Guys was bloody awesome.
I love that movie.
Nice Guys was awesome, dude.
So like and
Mm-hmm.
he was so good in it.
Dude,
He was like
was
undeniably
yep,
good in it.
yep. What
So
you know what though? The cast of Nice
but
Guys.
but I also don't like Russell Crowe.
That's what
And
I mean.
in that movie I
Oh
liked
no,
both of them.
that's what I mean. Like that film made me like the cast of
Right.
who.
But I feel like I gotta hand that to Shane
Oh,
Black.
Shane Black is a gangster, dude.
Because I've seen plenty of movies
He's
with
a
both of those
gangster.
guys
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't
Um.
normally dig either one of them, but he was great in that, and
Uh-huh.
I did love him in Blade Runner.
Yep.
Love that movie in general.
Yep. Yep. How about throw him in the X-Men when that's rebooted?
As
Mm.
do you see him playing a Cyclops type character,
I I saw more
or
as
is he too
Gambit.
much of a as a Gambit? But
Yeah,
we already got a
I know,
Gambit.
and I don't like it because I don't see him as Gambit. He's too big to be
If
Gambit.
he could devote himself to pulling off the accent, then I'm fine with a
Sure,
Gambit.
I'll give him that because that shows dedication to the role.
What would you do with a Leo DiCaprio in the MCU?
I want him to be a villain somehow.
Yeah, I get that. But oh man, what Marvel villain would Leonardo DiCaprio best fit?
Any of the Fantastic Four villains, not Doom. There's a lot.
Like the only other one I know is like Kang and Galactus.
Give Kang bloody make him dope as shit.
He's like a time traveler guy. I don't know how you're gonna make him all that dope.
I don't know. DiCaprio would be cool. I don't know as who though, because they'll probably
Um,
start pulling characters where we're like, oh, I never even thought of that character.
um, yeah, I mean, especially when it comes to like villain people, you know, it's hard because he's really specific looking.
He very is. Again, he's also boyish.
Yeah, yeah, sorta. He's getting up there though,
He is.
man.
He no no. Age wise, he's definitely getting up there. I'm saying his
But I know
appearance. I
what you
still get a
mean.
youthfulness from him for some reason, even with all the facial hair that he gets.
Last dude, real quick, is Army Hammer because everybody's always trying to fit this guy somewhere.
Because he looks like a superhero. He looks like he could be a superhero.
Yeah, he's very handsome.
He also feels young too though.
Sort of, but he's also a very large dude,
Very.
which I think helps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what he's looking like specifically today, and I didn't see Man from Uncle, which is the one everybody's like
You
he's
kind of
great
do.
in that shit.
You kind of do because you see that and you're like, oh, Cavill could be Bond.
Well, he was up for Bond too.
Yeah, and he probably still could.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I don't want it though.
He's definitely stocky as shit.
Yeah. Could you see Army Hammer doing a read?
If you do, you'd need a younger Sue. Unless you go Sue's older than Reed in this one,
Which
which
wouldn't
changing it up a little
be
bit,
terrible.
huh?
Which wouldn't be
No, not at all.
terrible.
I think it would alter the dynamic a little bit, and that'd be interesting.
Oh wait, what is that? What's her nuts? Is Alicia Vikander in that movie too?
Which one?
Man from Uncle.
Yep, I think so.
Didn't know that.
It's got some
Uh,
styles in that movie, man.
well, you know, I haven't actually seen it, so
You should check it out. It's a fun film.
that's what I hear. Do you remember who Ian Somerhalder is?
What's he from?
He is from. Well, the only thing I can think of most recently, because I'm looking at his face, is he was in Vampire Diaries.
It's one of the dudes
But
there. Yeah.
yeah, but he's older. Even though he's on that show, he's like probably 15 years older than everybody on that cast.
Weird, but he still looks young.
I think so. He's got a kind of
Okay.
youthful face.
Is
He's got
he
a very cyclopsy face to me.
okay? Then you see him as Cyclops for sure. Then
I could
okay,
easily see him as
cool.
a Cyclops character. Um, he's just kind of got that. He's got the good jawline and like the perfect 5 o'clock shadow for there to be a visor there.
Army
But Ready
Hammer,
Player One kid is Cyclops right now,
Army
so
Hammer as Silver Surfer.
I think that's good only because he's got a good voice for it.
His voice is great. That's what I was imagining. I'm like,
Could you see him being a Ben Grimm?
Ooh. There's not enough gruff in the voice, but I'd buy it.
Probably more gruff than the Jamie, whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
way more. But I think it's Silver Surfer because, like, if they would mocap his face and obviously, make it a little more aliens, like that whole obviously silver, kind of like what they do with Vision
Mm-hmm.
ish. I'd buy it. I'd buy him a Silver Surfer,
Yeah, I could see it. I
like
don't have
pretty
any
solidly
objection to
actually,
that.
pretty solidly.
I think, yeah, he's got a great voice for
His
it, and
voice
he's
is
tall as
excellent. Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
which
That's what I
helps.
mean. Like he'd look like his presence would feel almost slightly alien, which is should.
Well, you were talking about earlier having Mark Strong be Xavier.
Yes.
if that was a thing, we
Mm.
had Mark Strong Xavier. Who do
Mm.
you think would be a good
Magneto.
Magneto opposite him?
That's the tricky part, bro. Because Mark Strong ain't young, so you'd want somebody roughly his age-ish,
All right,
right? Maggie's
somebody
Maggie's
probably in their like 50s.
yeah, like late 40s, early 50s type deal.
Yeah,
That's tricky, man. That's tricky.
one that I'm sad that they used him already is Mads Mikkelsen
Dude, he's also very like you can throw him in a lot of things because he'd
because
be a sick Magneto.
he'd be a sick Doom too,
Oh, dude, yeah, I know.
but they already used him.
He was great too. He's great too.
What would you do with Brad Pitt in the MCU?
I'm sure he can find a role for him. Man. How
I
about
feel
him? How
like
about him as Magneto?
that'd be interesting. He
I
sounds so specific though.
I think he could probably do it though.
Maybe, maybe. I feel like if I was gonna do something with Brad Pitt in the MCU, I'd want him to play like an older, like not an older, but like a legacy character or something
Mm.
like a mentor kind of character.
As who?
Uh, we already got an Adam Warlock, I think, but something like that I think could have been cool.
Mm-mm.
He'd be a sixth century.
Dude, like an old like century from the past.
Sure.
Well, I mean, he'd have to be,
Why?
as in an older version. So
Well,
he
how
was
old is
century
the century
before.
supposed to be anyway?
I don't know. It was like a century old, like when he was like in his peak form before, obviously. So he's an older.
Yeah, I guess so. He's just got he's got kind of the face. I feel like also has been kind of a waste because he looks like a young version of Robert Redford. And Robert
Yep,
Redford, he's easily could have been Cap back in the day.
for real. And same as Brad Pitt probably could have been Cap at one point.
He probably could have been. I'd be curious to see him bulked up and play Cap. That'd
Hmm.
be something. If because we've only used him in voice form, do you think Bradley Cooper could do anything MCU?
I'd rather not.
No, you don't like his face for it.
I'm kind of good that I'm good where he's at.
I always really wanted him to be a lantern for whatever reason.
Yeah, he'd work as a lantern. How about him
Yeah,
as Nova?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Richard Ryder, another
Wouldn't be
space
opposed
dude.
to it.
Yeah. What about
Uh,
what about your favorite Vin Diesel? Should he be a character?
no,
I think he
no.
should stay where he's at.
Yeah, I like him only used in
Mm-hmm. I
voice
do too. I think
form.
it works. It works best for him.
Yeah, I feel like if he could just do that for the rest of all his
Oh, that'd be
movies.
great. That'd be great. I wonder if they got him as to play Iron Giant again.
He didn't say anything.
I know. That's why. It's great.
I hope it does say him as Iron Giant
Yeah,
then at the end.
we should probably start talking about that.
Yeah, we should because we've been talking for a minute.
It's about we're about this episode's over an hour. That's cool.
Well, we could have that as a separate thing if you want.
I mean, we could. Let's end this where it's at then.
All right.
So
So good random
yeah,
just talking about
just
things.
thanks for chilling with us this episode.
Thanks for sitting at our desks with us while we talked about whatever. I mean, it ended up still being kind of a movie news thing,
It
but
was, but also just lots
much
of
more casually.
well, let's pose the question to the people that are
Yeah.
watching.
Mm-hmm.
Who could you see playing? All right, say they're gonna say Marvel's got a Fantastic Four now. Who do you guys see as the new Fantastic Four?
Yeah. What's your guys' fantastic?
What's your take on Fantastic Four? Is it gonna be like
Solve the problem for us of who should be cast all of them,
yeah,
but
cast all
mainly
of them.
I'm curious. What do you guys think about Ben Grimm? We need to find a good Ben
We need a
Grimm.
good
as
we need a
Johnny
good
Storm.
Ben Grimm.
Yeah, man.
Someone that's believable to be Reed's friend, but
Right.
also be the guy that turns into the Orange Rock Man.
And he's got to have a chemistry, like a kind of a
Older brother.
nephew uncle or a big brother little brother thing with Johnny Storm as well.
Yeah. So you
Just
got to
kind of
cast a
like-
good Johnny Storm, who also works
exactly.
well with who you're
With the
going to
rest
cast
of it.
as.
It's
So
it's tough,
that's
man.
why-
Lots of chemistry to
That's
think
why
about.
this film it's gonna be, if you do it right, it's gonna be excellent.
Right.
But you have to do it right. You can't have a weak kind of a week. That's
Yeah.
I'll be strong.
True statement.
I mean,
But that wraps up this episode of the Chip Chat podcast. So until the
episode
next
Peaches
one,
and Cream.
peaches and cream. If you get that, you're awesome.
You're also
But
old
until
as
the
well.
next
So
one, you're awesome and you're old.
yeah.
Until the next one, guys. Stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper. Good. Addendum, you said. Addendum, episode 112, Peaches and Cream edition.
Yeah, addendum, not done.
Not done.
We were thinking about it a little bit more. Want to go? I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I think potentially I was wrong on the Zac Efron thing. Man, I was
You
just thinking
judged
about it
him
more.
too quickly, correct?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that whether or not I was wrong about it, I think that he is at a point now where give it a shot, see what happens.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But also, because let him get past that. Oh yeah, because this was the point. As I was saying, I judged Chris Evans too harshly when they cast him, and I thought he was just the not another teen movie guy.
Right. Which he was.
Why would you
how
cast
we knew
him
him
again? He was just Johnny Storm. Why would we put him as Cap? He's too young. Because I was imagining the 616 Cap, who is much more established and older. He's kind of barrel chested, huge jaw,
all those things.
But I wasn't thinking of him in terms of like the Ultimates version of Cap, where he's fresh and new. He's younger. Because the Marvel universe ends up being the MCU is so similar to the Ultimate universe, more so than they are the 616 universe in a lot of ways. How Spider-Man is, yada yada. Sorry, I'm kind of restating what I already stated earlier, so I'm getting right through it. In any case, more Dark Horse, we were talking about going left choices for casting. Hear me out.
Yeah, I'm listening.
For Reed,
yes.
For Reed, assuming we're still going with the Charlize Theron.
Okay, because it seems like all right. She's the Rock right now.
She's locked in. She said she's down.
So we have to basically cast around her.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, now hear me out. Some of these people that are listening are gonna be like, "This is dumb."
You're gonna explain yourself though, so it's fine.
But just give it a shot in your mind.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves.
I'm done. Sign me up. I love this so much.
I just think.
Oh, this is good.
We already know he has chemistry with Charlize because we saw them in Devil's Advocate together.
Yes, I forgot about that.
So we know they're around the same age too. So they still, they work.
He's lanky.
He's lanky,
as in like
kind
he's
of
not.
slender
Yes,
face.
he's older now. He's distinguished now. I can believe him as a scientist.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
He's not
he's so much different than anybody else that's like a main character, like main guy.
Feel,
exactly. He'll automatically be unique to himself.
This has to happen now.
So assuming another Dark Horse one. I'm willing to debate this.
But debate's good.
So I expect you not to 100% be on board.
Did you figure one out for Ben?
Yeah.
Oh.
So assuming now we've got Charlize Theron, Sue Storm.
Locked.
We've got Keanu Reeves.
Let's lock him down.
Richards. We're toying with the idea of Zac Efron, Johnny Storm.
And give him your reasons. You were saying prior to recording this addendum. Give him your reasons why you feel he should be given.
I think I touched on it.
Yeah, you did.
How I kind of, I was too harsh on Evans. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's been far enough away from High School Musical. It's worth giving him a shot to be something else. Maybe now he is Johnny Storm to us.
Yeah.
In the way that some of us were willing to let Michael B. Jordan be that before that movie ended up being terrible.
Before that movie ended up being what it ended up being.
Right. So assuming now that he's Johnny Storm, How would you feel about Seth Rogen being Ben Grimm?
Random. He's probably the weakest of your thoughts, the dark horses.
Hear me out though.
Okay. I'm willing to listen.
If you're imagining just the gruffness of his voice as the big rock
I
character,
buy that. I'm actually good with that.
even his fucking laugh would be
No,
kind
no.
of
I'm
hilarious
great
in
with
that
that. Yeah, yeah.
rock dude form.
Because but, all right, continue.
We know he has chemistry with Efron
Yes.
because they did those Neighbors movies
Yes.
together. And so we know that they could kind of do the kind of pranking each other kind of vibe, the big brother, little brother
Yes,
kind
yes.
of
The,
thing.
the camaraderie.
And I would love to see a conversation between Seth Rogen in rock form or any form with Keanu Reeves.
Here's my thing now. While I can agree with the voice, while I can
Yeah.
agree with the chemistry that he has with Zac Efron,
Mm-hmm.
he can't be the jokey. I need to see some more
But
depth. Right. And I'm
but
sure he's capable of it.
Ben Grimm kind of was a
He
jokey
is.
dude.
But
He
also,
he's the kind of guy
right.
that looks at a fight and he
Hear
yells
me
out
out.
clobbering
Hear
time,
me out
bro.
though. I need
Okay.
some serious aspect though.
You don't think Rogan can do that?
I think he can. I don't think he showed. I don't think that aspect that's necessary for like. There has to be some emotion.
Did you see the Jobs thing? How was he as Wozniak?
I don't think there was enough role for him to fully showcase. Because the thing is, while I can agree with you, Ben is definitely the most. Him and Johnny Storm are the most fun of the
Mm-hmm.
characters. Ben
Yeah.
is also a very like an emotional aspect of the family.
It's
He
true.
needs to have that
Did
core.
you see 50-50?
Yeah, but it was still like it's tricky. He's the most tricky. Like of the casting that you said, he's
Uh-huh.
definitely the most. He's the darkest horse.
Of the people that we've said also could be Ben, how do you think that
I don't
he
remember who
stacks
you
up
said
against
as
any of
Ben
them?
though.
We said Army Hammer, which to me would kind of be a waste of Army Hammer because of what that
I
dude
want him
looks
as
like.
Silver Surfer. In my
I
head,
do,
he's
and I
already
agree with you. That's
in my
perfect.
head he's
That's
already Silver
perfect.
Surfer.
I can't think of a better Silver Surfer option than him,
No,
so I'm on board with that. Cast him too. He's also
because
in this universe
his
now because
face, everything,
Fantastic Four.
silver him up. Just the voice
Right.
alone is already the win.
I loved Doug Jones,
He was great,
and
but
I thought that Lawrence Fishburne was a cool sound, but it's way cooler to get one dude that's doing it,
who's just doing? Who's that?
and he's perfect frame for it.
Yep. Tricky part with Ben.
Would you do him as just an effect, or would you do him like in a kind of weird suit?
I'll mocap him.
Okay,
I'll mocap him.
yeah. Why
I'll
not? They
mocap him.
do it with
Everyone
everybody
mocaps
else.
these days. That's kind of the thing.
Right.
Instead of like the whole, it's digital makeup. I'll digital
Hmm.
makeup.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I think it'd be great.
he's Silver Surfer
We
in
got
this
Silver
new
Surfer. Yep,
FF
we got Silver
universe.
Surfer. Ben Grimm is tricky. I can see aspects. It's definitely the darkest horse of the lot. I love Keanu Reeves. I
Who else
think
did we
Keanu
say
Reeves is
is?
amazing though. Like I just Keanu Reeves is amazing. That's
Who else do you
fantastic.
think? Who else did we say could be Ben Grimm in the
That's tricky
earlier
because we couldn't really
bit?
pick one that was solid as Ben.
I can't think of one I like better than that. I just think because you're gonna spend so little time with him in the
Right. Yeah.
human form,
That was my thing because
and he's just Reed's friend who's a pilot. He doesn't have to be like a hulking dude ahead of time.
no, of course not. Of course not. Like if he's say the same physique that he had when he was Green
Hornet,
Hornet,
yeah,
um, I think he could do it. Like his voice, he just I don't want him to be laughing a lot
right. I don't think he would just be
because
a
if you
character
remember
that's. He
Paul,
wouldn't be like a stoner
yeah,
character.
that's he can like I
No,
can't
he wouldn't
feel
be
that
that.
because
He wouldn't
he's
be
a
that.
military guy.
Yeah, he wouldn't be that.
I want him to have fun, no doubt. He can still
Mhm.
have fun. That's not a problem. Because like hearing his voice primarily, I'm
You
not
got to
sure if
keep
he
in mind he wouldn't be in it as Seth Rogen though.
good. I know that's
He
the
would be
thing.
playing
I
a
want him
character.
like, but that's my thing. And that's my problem with a lot of the roles that Seth Rogen plays. It's very similar to each other. This is probably going to be one of the further characters that he's played.
Right, right. Well, maybe again. I
One
think
of.
he's probably done things with more range.
I'm
I
sure
just
of it.
don't. I haven't seen those
Right.
movies. I haven't
That's the
seen
thing.
Jobs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the
I
things that we
saw
have
50
seen,
It was a long time
the
ago.
things that we have seen, it's very much within the circle of what we know he does.
Wasn't he in Funny People as well? That was like a dramedy as well, wasn't it?
I don't forget if he was in there. It was a dramedy, but again, he was kind of like again a lot of his. I think he can pull it off. That's probably the one that we. That's probably the Chris Evans, if that makes sense.
Right.
He's the one
Well,
where you're like, I don't see
I
it.
said I didn't see you going with this one, and I wanted to hear
Yeah.
a debate the other way. So I get what you're saying. If
Do you
he
know
was
what I'm saying? Like,
a stoner,
I'm open to this,
that's perfect.
but we cannot see a single bit of that stoner bit because if we have to take into account what Ben Grimm was prior to being the rock guy,
Yeah.
he's the military guy. We have to believe him as that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to
I'm
see
in
any
my
bit of this
head.
stoner guy.
I'm
The voice
listening
is
to
good though. I like the
what
voice.
you would say, and I'm like,
I like the voice.
yeah.
I think the voice is good, and since it's gonna be mocap daily,
Hmm.
I'm good with that. But that's my main concern regarding this casting that you're having. I don't want to see any of this stoner bit at
I
all,
agree. I agree.
at all. But otherwise, I'm good. I love
Um,
Keanu Reeves's. That's
I
amazing.
I
That's my
would love.
favorite thing ever.
I would love to see what this version of that cast would look
Keanu,
like, though.
Charlize, Zac Efron, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, especially because Efron is shorter too. I kind of think that really works.
Mm-hmm.
It gives him, and because he's shorter and he's still super kind of shredded,
Yeah.
it would give him a different physique and like silhouette than Holland. But he's short and still very young looking,
Yeah.
so their dynamic could still be there. Because
Because he could
in
still
the
be
comics,
he
at
could still
least,
be
those
older
two have
though.
a
He doesn't have to
yeah.
be
He could still
Holland's
be older than him
age.
for sure. Because he's even supposed to be like an actor and shit.
Right,
In
and that's believable. Look at him.
right,
You
yeah.
know? The Rogan one, I'm fine. I think voice wise, you've definitely. That's a
I
solid.
Let's put it this way though, separately. If it was Rogan, I want to see what that design for the thing looks like
Yeah.
because I really didn't dig the most recent version.
It was too rocky, did you feel? It was too
It was like
Gollum?
slaty, I don't know. It was just his face didn't have enough personality.
No, no personality.
It
You know
was
what he
just
looked like? He
kind of
looked
like
like a rock monster fodder,
right.
you know?
He had less personality in his face than Korg did.
Korg.
So
He needs to look like an orange Korg.
no, he shouldn't.
No,
You
as
don't
in
want him
terms
to
of like
look
the
the
effects, the
same.
visual effects.
Right. I think
Needs to be that quality.
they need to give him a face that has some sort of specificity to it, not
Hmm.
just, a round shape.
Right, right, right. He needs to look like Thing.
Right. And and I appreciated the efforts they sort of made in the chickless makeup suit where they tried to get him.
But see, if it was the chickless makeup, but rather than physical makeup, be digital makeup, that thing is perfect.
I don't
It's
agree.
closer to than the race
Right.
racing, at least.
Again though, I'm saying I appreciated the stuff they did in that makeup to try and make him
Hmm.
look like the comic book version, but I want to see like the McNiven
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
thing where
That'd be
he's got the
awesome.
huge chunky brow and he's got a big like expressive mouth,
He's just
bright
thick
blue
everywhere.
eyes.
He's just
Yeah, dude.
thick. Like his
Exactly.
limbs are like tree trunks, you know?
Exactly. Cuz
Yeah, yeah.
he can't have the same
No,
he can't have the same silhouette as the Hulk.
no, no. And his
He's
his
got to be
silhouette
the
has
same
to.
thing.
Are we talking old school where it's like big, round, rocky type?
Right. Yeah, man.
You know what
I
though?
th-
Like the fact that you brought up Korg
yeah.
and the voice that came out of Korg, that worked
Mhm.
fine. I'm fine with that. Mind you, I'm not as familiar with
But you're
Korg,
not
so any
yeah,
voice could
exactly.
have popped out
You
of
weren't
him,
attaching that to
right?
an ideal
Yeah,
already.
yeah. Whereas Thing, he's very specific.
He is. It's
Again,
exactly why I expect people when they're
I'm
watching this
okay
to
so
be
long as I
hesitant
don't
about that
see
choice.
so long it doesn't have the hints of the stoner comedy thing. I'm good. because it doesn't
I don't
need.
see. I didn't even see Green Hornet, so I don't even know how he did
That's why I think
as
no.
like a
That's
straight
why
man
when I said
character.
Green Hornet, I think that's fine. Because I think you actually should watch Green Hornet. It's not terrible.
I want to, but
Michel Gondry is
because I like
amazing.
Michel Gondry, that's the only
He is
reason I want to see.
amazing. He did things in that film. I was like, they still don't do that.
Speaking of not this at all, but it just reminded me because we are talking about Michel Gondry. Did you watch that iHome commercial or whatever with like the kind of it's like a girl dancing and all the
Hmm.
background is like shifting around? Did you watch the full version of that?
I've only seen like short clips. How long is the full version?
I think like 7 minutes or
No, I haven't.
something. You should definitely watch it. I don't. Maybe it's not even 7 minutes. Maybe only be like 4 minutes.
Okay.
But definitely watch it. It's very cool visually, and it's all like practical, like set moving kind of weird stuff going on
Okay.
to do it. Really cool. Reminds me of stuff Gondry does. It's
Okay.
actually
Yeah. Yeah.
Spike Jones doing it, but
But they're
Spike Jones is also dope.
they're like in that same art house field of directing type
Right,
deal. You know
exactly.
what I
They're
mean?
from the same era
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
figure it out. Um, but
I'm good
yeah,
with this cast. Let's film it.
unrelated to that. Who would you get to direct this? If who would you get to direct this?
Let's get
Assuming this
Michel
is the
Gondry.
cast. I don't know
All right,
if they
check
would
it. If the
ever.
premise is right, let's just go
Right.
crazy with this. It's the Fantastic Four from like the older era, and it's time travel involved. So they're back. They're thrown into the current time.
So even with this cast, you would want them to be time traveling '60s
Why
version.
not? I like that.
Hmm.
I've always dug that. So they're.
That's interesting.
I think it's an interesting thing. That's why, because like we haven't. I mean, sure, they did it with Cap. They did it with kind of Winter Soldier as well.
Right. Uh-huh.
But they transported, and it's from a specific time. So this is also from a specific time. If they came from the 60s,
Right.
very specific time.
Yeah.
Or you can modernize them. Or if you want, you can even, they can
Just
change
because
things up where they
because it's
come from another era. What up?
because it is this cast, I could totally imagine it working either way.
Yep, yep. Ah, just give me this cast at this point. If I had to take the whole thing as
Especially
is, I'd take it.
especially because if you're doing it as the older school like '60s style version,
Mm-hmm.
then just imagine how legit Keanu looked as
Ah,
John Wick in those suits, but they'll be like old school '60s
yep.
style suits.
So it's double
Oh
breasted,
man, yeah,
him with
dude,
a
he
pipe.
that would be that would be clown in
There's
a
a pipe
smoking
just.
jacket. If he was wearing the suit with the smoking jacket
Yeah,
over it.
dude, take that. That's thug, dude. If I can rock that all day,
Oh, I wish I had time to draw these out. It would
I
be
would.
so
I
great.
would. But I'm so yeah. This Keanu is. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. I love that because it's so out the box. But it's like, you know what? Keanu's dope. Everyone loves him.
Yeah. I agree.
And you're specifically correct regarding his look. He doesn't look like anybody else.
Doesn't have the same silhouette as
Nope.
any of those guys.
You won't mistake him for another guy.
No, he doesn't sound like any of them. He's completely his own thing. It would make them totally different. Some people are gonna think of that though in the same way they think of the Rogan choices. They're gonna be like, "Well, he sounds
No, no,
like
which is
whoa,"
good.
and blah
But again,
blah.
that was like I think the legitimate concern was the whole stoner thing that's attached to Rogan, and
Right.
really that's it. Because the thing
Yeah.
is, if he's portraying the role and the role isn't he's a bloody stoner, then sure
Right.
he has to portray that role as such. It's called acting. He will have to act that. All we need is his characterization and his voice.
Yeah, and I
So,
think it's doable also for Rogan now, especially because he's older. Like you see
hmm.
pictures of him now, big gray beard.
Yep,
You know, he's trying to get into directing and stuff. He's still doing that Invincible movie, so he's in the comics,
right, right.
sphere.
I'm
I
good
think
with
you.
this. Give
Yeah.
me this. Give me this.
Anyway,
And then throw
that
Army
seems
Hammer
like a
as a Silver Surfer.
and Army Hammer, Silver
No.
Surfer, Norrin Rat all the way.
Yep, I believe it.
I don't know. Would you cast it like an actual dude to play Galactus, or just have him be a big CGI thing like Dormammu
Mocap.
mocap?
Dormammu was Cumberbatch.
It was, but it was. You know what I mean. It was like
Oh,
a
okay,
big.
yeah, right, right,
It
right.
was a big CGI thing rather than a.
I think let's they've already established that in this Marvel universe there are giants.
Right.
Let's go for it.
Right.
Go for it,
Maybe that's what they're gonna prep us with Ant-Man
dude.
2.
I can't wait.
Is they're like, here's a kaiju battle
Oh,
in
I
the
can't
MCU.
wait.
It's
I
gonna,
love it.
especially because think of what Ant-Man's suit looks like. It's gonna be like Ultraman, dude.
I know, I love it. That's why I love it. I can't wait. You know, I love. All right, I know everyone's. I know everyone. I know both of us as well. We're both hyped for clearly Infinity War, which is happening in like 3 weeks. But
Yeah.
I'm super excited about Ant Man and Wasp
Yeah, I very much am. There's
because
giant pest dispensers. How could you not be
that's the
excited about
fun. Like to me, that's the one that's going to be the fun Marvel film
that? Yeah.
with surprises where we're like, yeah, that was actually really good. Like the action was excellent, and there was like heart and stuff. Good
Right.
stuff. It's all the good stuff. Anyway.
Anyhow, that seems like a good place to end this addendum.
Should I include this as part of the episode?
Yeah, just have
Okay.
it pop up right after we say stay chipper and all that.
Sweet. That's even awesome.
So anyway, stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper.